back in the grave.
Halo, halo, halo. 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 Już słychać. Nie, u mnie ściszona na tym. Czy czytałeś te SMS-a? Wiesz, zacząłem streamować, włączyłem na tym, na kompie streama i od razu mnie rozłączyło, nie? Co? No, SMS mi przyszedł. Znaczy ten, powiadomienie, nie? Tak. No bo ja mam ustawione tak, jak ty miałeś ustawione na mnie, nie? No. No i w menu, tak? No to patrzyłem właśnie. Znaczy włączyłem. Mhm. Włączyłem tego Solar Imperium, tak? To z tymi statkami, tytanami, co kurwa gonią typa. Nie, no bo mi internetu za dużo zżerało. Mhm. Ale ty...
I can't believe I'm doing this.
Pa, połączył się. No router. Się połączył
I
z
have
internetem.
this.
A nie chcę mi się kurwa zmieniać, bo i tak zaraz się rozłączę.
This is despicable.
A ja wlazłem o 3:00, tak? To już godzinę, tak wiesz, synchronizował się kurwa i dopiero teraz się synchronizował. A już jest 4:00? Czy jeszcze? No to 1,5 godziny się kurwa łączył. Hmm.
When did you join the guard? 2 days ago. This is my first patrol.
Powiem ci tak, wstałem gdzieś koło 10. Było, wiesz, rozłączona, nie? Poszedłem spać, wstałem o chyba za 15:02, coś takiego. I też było rozłączone.
Whitechapel. This
I o
neighborhood is
3:00
linked somehow
się
to
połączyło,
the
przed
triangle
3:00.
Casper's blackmail.
Widziałem, że streamujesz.
First,
I teraz dopiero drugi raz, nie?
let's find this Petrescu fellow.
I won't end up another drunk arsehole littering the streets.
Are you all right?
The bastard hit the wall next to me. I don't even know if he meant to miss.
If you've been hurt, I can help you. I'm a doctor.
Name's Albert. Remember it. Now bugger off.
What happened? Did you really steal that man's medication?
Hey, I didn't do anything. It ain't me.
All right. Perhaps the poor drunk just confused you with someone else.
Sod off, mister. You ain't got no clue what's going on here. Bastard was a soldier in the war, so now he's got the right to shoot me.
It's true. I'm not familiar with this part of town. Perhaps you could help me.
I said sod off. Go find yourself another guide.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? If you know anything about her, I'd appreciate it.
Never heard of her. She's pretty, I'll keep an eye out.
I found the recruiter you were expecting. He's dead, but he carried a note. The Wet Boot Boys have accepted your application.
I knew it! I told you I was tough enough. I'll be free soon.
Free? You may soon find out that you have simply traded one set of shackles for another.
You're all...
Goodbye, young man.
The Wet Boots will be proud of me.
What? Shooting a boy in the middle of the street. Not the best thing to do, wouldn't you say?
What? You saw what happened? Who are you?
I'm Dr. Reed, and I'd like to ask you a few questions, if you promise me to set your gun aside.
No. Look, I'm not a violent man. I'm Benjamin Palmer, doctor. And no one can help me. Not even you.
What can you tell me about this place?
Nothing to say, really. This is where I used to live, and this is where I live now.
You mean you used to have a better life?
Yeah, I had a wife, a home, and a job. I even used to have a name. And now I'm just Ben. Ben the Tramp.
You don't have anywhere to go? No family that would welcome you?
Not since the death of my wife, Albert's mother. She was sick, you see. Long before the flu and all this shit.
Perhaps you could focus for a moment and tell me your troubles.
I'm sick, broke, and my son just stole my pills. Everything's coming up roses.
What is it, Benjamin? It was the war, wasn't it? Your nerves are shot, aren't they? I need some answers, Private. From one soldier to another.
The doctors called me a liar. A coward. Put me in a straitjacket, locked me up. Finally, they sent me back to the front lines with a handful of tablets.
Yes.
Not ashamed.
Whatever the boy did, I'm sure he didn't deserve a public execution.
I swear I didn't want to hit him. It's just that I'm sick in the head, you see, and the boy he just frayed me last nerve.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Have you heard anything?
It's funny, I've been searching for her too. I need some pills. But the woman is a phantom, if you ask me.
Really? And why is that?
Word is she ain't real. She's a cover for some doctor who runs an illegal dispensary for migrants.
A gun?
The Wet Boots will be proud of me. find some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lavvy.
Co jest? Jestem słowo. No jeszcze nie.
All the good boys join the army.
Good evening, miss.
Good evening, sir. Are you interested in a miraculous cure for this unknown and deadly epidemic?
Actually, I am.
Then you have come to the right place. The famous Swanborough cordial is all you need to help keep you in perfect health.
Oh, really? Why didn't I hear about it during my studies? I'm Jonathan Reed, by the way. Dr. Jonathan Reed.
Ah, my brother has spoken of your research, sir. I'm Loretta Swanborough, and it's always a pleasure to meet a fellow healer.
Słychać mnie?
Tell me, who intrigues you most in Whitechapel?
The region itself is something to see, but I would say Camellia the mute florist who gives away her flowers.
Is there anyone I should avoid?
Cadogan Bates, without a doubt. The bloody bastard remorselessly exploits poor migrants
Kurwa,
as
jaka
soon as
gorsza
they get
jakość
here.
jest na tym. Na YouTubie.
What do you think of the
Czy nie, to takie
Most of them are
rozmawianie, nie?
afraid or desperate. They all
Tego
come
nie
to me
zrobisz, to jest po
eventually for
prostu
my
kodek
remedy.
od YouTube'a.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? I'd like to know more about her.
I don't like to talk about competition.
Competition, you say?
Never met her, but it seems she provides some sort of medical care to the poor. The whole thing has to be some sort of scam, if you ask me.
I'd like to see what kind of medicine you're selling.
All the good boys join the army and the
When
scum
science
turn
fails
criminals
you,
to shame, really.
this elixir will give you faith again. Its effectiveness has been proven
Gangs
by
of
many.
people in this neighbourhood
Even the
trust me.
flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Good evening, sir. Do you remember me?
If you're here for a reward, you'll be sorely disappointed. But I'll gladly shake the hand of a fellow countryman.
I'm not here for a bounty. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed from the Pembroke.
A doctor? In Whitechapel? What an opportunity. My name's Bates, Cadogan Bates.
Do you require assistance, Mr. Bates?
Not me, but your skills could help a lot of people round here. That would help my business, because I say a live tenant's a paying tenant.
It's unusual to see someone so happy around here, especially considering the current situation.
Why should I be sad now? There've always been wars, disease, tragedy. There always will be.
That's an unusual way of seeing things in these trying times.
I don't see why I should shed a tear for another man's woes. I'm healthy, and I intend to stay so.
What is your business, exactly?
I offer fair lodgings for a modest price to the poor and weary of Whitechapel.
I see. And what about those who cannot pay?
Well, deals can be done, if you know what I mean. Money's not the only currency. After all, I'm not immune to a pretty face.
I don't approve of your actions, but I know very little about this borough, other than its reputation. There are always necessary evils.
A necessary evil. That's one way to think about it. Knew you had more smarts than all these immigrants.
Tell me, what's your honest opinion of the increasing violence in London?
People are just beginning to discover what we've always known. This city's rotten to the core. They just took their bloody time to wake up and notice it.
What do you mean?
People are acting like the violence is news. But it's always been savage down here. It just bubbles to the surface every now and again.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
Co? Nie.
Mr. Bates.
Evening, Doctor.
What help could I possibly be to your business?
That's simple. I already get good money from all those fleeing the war. Can you imagine what they'd be willing to pay if I could offer medical assistance too?
Mr. Bates, do not make me regret saving your life in this quarantine zone.
I understand, Dr. Reed, you're from a good family. Don't want to get your hands dirty. That's fine. I'll be happy to act as your middleman.
I've no interest in money. Perhaps one night I will visit you and take what I require. If that should happen, there will be no need for a middleman.
So it's a no then. That's too bad. The Reed tonic could have really helped people, you know, save lives. Isn't that what you do? I mean, people buy that Swanborough.
Ja, za cicho tego YouTube'a twojego.
You seem to have recovered well since your attack. Do you ever...
Not much. It was a fucking night.
You'd better not
Że
come
pieniądze,
back here.
tak?
I'm looking for Dorothy...
Dorothy Crane. Bless her soul.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
What do you want? Leave me alone.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I'm looking for Nurse Dorothy Crane.
There is no Dorothy Crane here. Now goodbye.
I'm afraid this medical leaflet says the opposite, sir.
Really? Well, I'm afraid I'm going to close this door right now. Go bother someone else, Mr. Doctor.
To enter that house, I must discover who this man really is. Maybe I could start by observing what he's up to.
Working nearby.
It's locked. I will return later.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you
Słuchajcie?
faith again.
No już mnie rozłączyło. Muszę siedzieć kurwa na tym głupim telefonie. No właśnie, nie wiem. Zresztą jutro poniedziałek. Po 15 będę musiał kurwa jechać albo do tego Orange, do punktu, nie? Albo jechać kurwa od razu do T-Mobile i zmienić kurwa internet i chuj. Natomiast T-Mobile, nie? Z czego ty masz? Ale chodzi mi o telefony. Znaczy, ale ty tam patrzyłeś w T-Mobile'u? Ten.
Working nearby.
Mr. Bates. I'm looking for
Dorothy?
Has she treated you?
No. When I need a checkup, I'd go to a bloody doctor, not some back alley clinic full of sick foreigners.
Tell me truthfully, why are you so thankful?
By keeping my tenants alive, she's making me a rich man. Every month they live, it's more coin in my pocket.
Goodbye, Mr. Bates. No one's there. It's locked, all right.
Who distributes flowers at this hour of night?
by many. Even the flu is no match for the Swanborough cordial.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Miss Swan.
To jak się twój ten bohater nazywa? Mhm.
All your problems. As long as you have the money.
Mr. Bates. Goodbye, Mr. Bates.
Evening.
Since I took an oath to help people, can I be of assistance?
Well, seen better days, that's for sure. But it was bound to happen with all these refugees about.
Infecting you is probably the last thing on these people's minds. Take this, in any case.
What? You give me this for free? Don't have a clue about this place, do you?
Goodbye, Mr. Bates. I have this thirst for blood. It's locked.
Ty jak jutro idziesz? No, za mało. Kurwa, ty tam potrzebowali 2000 albo ileś.
As long as you have the money.
It's locked, all right.
Bloody hell, boy.
Good evening,
I
Benjamin.
won't end up another.
Can I help you?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Reed.
A gun, alcohol. How are you?
I'm not your boy. Or...
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots.
How are you?
I'm not your boy, all right? Now piss off,
Do you need assistance?
please. Feeling tired these days.
There you go. Let's hope nobody steals it from you.
Very funny.
Goodbye, young man.
The wet boots will be proud of me.
When science fails you, this elixir will give you faith again.
Who distributes flowers at this hour of night? This district seems to get ugly.
Ale co, masz górną mapę, tak? Do odkrycia już. Kto ci jeszcze subuje oprócz mnie? Masz dwa jeszcze. Subskrypcji nie oglądających. To dzwoneczek to jest.
Perhaps I should look into it.
There's no one in.
Maybe it's time to see if this Christina is still working nearby.
To jest takie opóźnienie? Ja dopiero słyszę o tym. O tych subach. Nie ma nikogo. Ile minut temu pukałeś do drzwi? Gdzie to besty? Na razie stoisz przy jakimś samochodzie z wami. A, teraz widzę. Okay. Co to jest? A, koło. A tableta masz odpalonego?
leech, boys! All of you bloody leeches need...
Jest te dwóch.
I cannot enter.
Ty robisz te questy, czy ty latasz sobie teraz po tym i zwiedzasz? Bo już nie wiem. Haha.
It's locked, all right.
Aha.
It's locked.
A strange man was at the door with a pass for our medical facility. I refused him entry.
Darius, how could you know he didn't need our help?
His clothes were too finely tailored to be for Whitechapel.
Perhaps just a friend of that stray poet who is always about.
Richard Nethercott? No, not of the same cloth, this man. I suspect some machination from that journalist.
Clayton Darby. Is he still asking questions?
Yes. I saw him drifting around St. Mary's Church. I swear he is tracking me just downwind.
I must talk to that journalist or the poet. They must know about Darius. Nearby the church they just mentioned.
Jakiś Darius. Aha.
Your life away.
Joe, please, I don't have your money.
Come on, Barrett, you know the game. You pay for peace of mind.
Oh no.
Can't you just look the other way this week, Joe? Come on. Welcome, sir. Please, take a browse of my wares.
I am Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
Doctor? Interesting. I'm Barrett Lewis. Usually I don't have time to waste with talk, but at this hour of the night I can hardly refuse.
How is business around here?
Business? I had no business. Between this racket, theft, and customers getting scared, I'm losing money every day.
I see. Sounds like you blame someone in particular for your situation.
It's no secret Joe Peterson spends his time harassing merchants. But with me, he's trying to put me out of
No,
business
już się
once and for
zaczyna
all.
kurwa znowu.
As a merchant, you see Whitechapel every day. Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary recently?
What you mean,
Co-
besides the
tylko ty.
epidemic, the war, and all the usual crap? As long as I can remember, this part of town has been a bottomless
ciebie też
pit,
rozwalasz?
and no sign of the bottom yet.
A, okej.
Have you been hurt?
No, but that's only because I ran like hell. Those men were raving lunatics, I tell you. Not even able to speak anymore, just screaming.
Violence is increasing in the borough.
Yeah. A few nights ago, some blokes jumped me. Came out of one of the condemned workshops. Fever, madness, something like that.
Where did this happen? Why did you go there?
In the closed workshops nearby. I worked there as an apprentice in better days. Now I only go to find trinkets or tools. Too bad I was mugged, though. There was good money in that little box of loot I lost.
Have you heard of a nurse called Dorothy Crane?
Nurse Crane? So the bitch really is a nurse, then? Always thought she was just some crafty foreigner, that one.
Yes, she's a nurse, and quite a good one. What did she do to gain such notoriety?
Dorothy Crane ain't even a real name. Something like Dorothea Craneu. Something like that. Came to England fleeing the war, I was told.
That doesn't explain why she irritates you so much.
Your precious Nurse Crane gives away medical supplies and prescriptions for free.
Right then.
Fancy buyings?
You never... Right then. Excuse me, sir. I have a few questions for you.
Another journalist? I didn't answer the first one, so piss off.
I'm not a journalist, I'm a doctor.
A doctor, you say? It's quite a rare breed in this part of town.
Really? But still, here I am. Dr. Jonathan Reed, at your service.
I'm Joe Peterson.
May I ask what you do around here?
I do whatever I want, and sometimes even more. Now sod off.
According to you, physicians are scarce in this part of town. Why is that?
Not familiar with this neighborhood, are you? I guess your fancy colleagues are too afraid of being stabbed in the back.
This part of town does have quite a reputation. Would you say it's justified?
Totally. Look at me, for instance. I always look my opponent in the eye before knocking him out.
How did you become the local bully everyone is afraid of, Joe?
There's no pride in roughing up poor bastards. But this is the only job I've found. And it pays well, too.
A job? So you're racketeering for someone else?
I got enlisted by the Wet Boot Boys, a gang from the docks. I'm their muscle for their dirty work.
Most people don't become thugs when unemployed. This is a choice you made.
I don't care what you think, sir. I do what I have to do for my own reasons, and that's that.
I'm not sure Mr. Lewis would agree with your by all means necessary philosophy, sir.
Oh, do you really think he's the poor victim here? Barrett can be as sneaky as anyone. Long ago, I even called the bastard my best friend.
Have you heard of a nurse named Dorothy Crane? She's a colleague of mine, and is supposed to live around.
Dorothy Crane? Yeah, I know her. One of the few good souls who dare to help the sick around here.
Could you please tell me more about her?
She's a nice girl. Tries to help the migrants. I offered to give her a hand, but she said my reputation would attract too much attention.
Goodbye, Mr. Peterson.
Co? Kiedy?
Excuse me, sir. Are you familiar with this part of town? Name's Clayton Darby, reporter.
Sorry, I'm new to
Książę w
Whitechapel.
realu.
But perhaps you could help me since you're a journalist. My name is Jonathan Reed.
Dr. Reed, the famous surgeon. I'll gladly help if I'm able, sir.
Nie wiem, pomóc.
Why are the newspapers keeping silent about the Spanish influenza? It's as though none of you care.
There's a war going on. People shouldn't be demoralized by news of deadly diseases.
I served in France. Our top priority must be to put an end to this butchery. This war must stop now.
Sir, streets are a battlefield.
Have you any idea of the danger you face in these streets at night?
I've had to run and hide more than once from frenzied mobs incensed by the fever. Do you think the flu is really responsible for this, Doctor?
That science is unable to explain the facts doesn't mean there is no rational explanation.
I confess, I share your point of view, Doctor.
What is a journalist doing in this borough after sunset?
He goes where none of his colleagues would dare to go, to inform the country.
So you risk your life to reveal the truth. I saw many reporters do the same during the war.
Whitechapel is the crucible of so many untold stories and tragedies. I want people to know them.
That's quite honorable of you. But is the public interested?
Not at all, sir. And that's why I'm an independent journalist, hoping to sell some stories.
I heard you're investigating an underground medical dispensary in Whitechapel. What do you know about it?
Not much, I'm afraid. They are wary of strangers, and I'm not really an acquaintance of theirs. Why do you care?
I'm afraid one of the nurses from the Pembroke Hospital may be involved with unsavory activities.
Ah, could it be Dorothy Crane?
Without a doubt, you are a damn fine journalist, Mr. Darby. What do you know of her accomplice, a man named Darius?
I don't know much about the man. He's very cautious, never goes out, doesn't seem to have any friends or family.
He has no relatives at all?
No, except for that strange man, a poet named Richard Nethercott, who sometimes comes by. Darius would never let him in.
Where can I find this Mr. Nethercott?
He spends most of his time
He never goes out?
No. A few days ago, he unexpectedly did. I followed him, but it was just a ruse to keep me away from his house.
Really? How do you know?
He went to the nearest mailbox, but just before posting his letter, he ripped it up and threw it away.
Goodbye, Mr. Darby. Farewell. Forgive my interruption.
Do not apologize, my son. Father Tobias Whitaker is always happy to teach mortals about the incoming Armageddon.
I am Dr. Jonathan Reed, and I just have a few questions.
A sign?
Jaki ty masz pobieranie teraz? 300 megabitów na sekundę?
I thought, my son.
Czy 1 giga?
What do you mean when you say that I am more lost than you thought?
All scientists are entangled in a world of causes and consequences. And most of them...
Quite a judgmental opinion, if you are.
But you are seeking answers, aren't you?
A kanałów ile masz? Kanałów w telewizji? Podstawowy pakiet, czy jakiś rozszerzony? Ile ci wychodzi? 120? Tak.
Well,
as a doctor,
what do you mean?
The beast is finally revealing.
Really? And what would be your answer?
We must fight the disease before this lead.
What is left then?
Cleansing fire.
What do you mean?
All scientists are entangled in all...
Quite a judgment.
But you are seeking answers.
Well, I suppose I can spare a few...
As a doctor, you must be aware of the decimate...
What do you mean?
The beast is finally revealed.
I have heard enough. Goodbye.
You are blinded by your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine.
Pay me at last.
Unable to see the truth.
I'm cheap and I'm clean, I promise. Don't be shy, handsome. What can Christina do for you?
I'm not looking for what you're selling. But I'd like to ask you a few questions, if I may. I'm a doctor. Dr. Reed.
All right then, but be quick. Though I usually get paid when I open my mouth.
Christina, have you been examined? The epidemic is spreading fast in London, and you could be exposed. Or expose others.
I don't like doctors or hospitals, but I don't like you asking questions.
You can put your own life in danger, that's your decision. But what about your clients? If you're contaminated, you will put them in danger too.
And you think that would worry me? If you knew the men I deal with, their health would not be what you'd worry about.
Considering your line of work, I assure you it is only a matter of time before you have health issues.
If it is going to happen, it will happen. Right now, I need money. That's what's important.
Clayton Darby claims he will expose the crisis in Whitechapel to all of London. Do you believe him?
I believe Clayton's courage will erode with time, until he finally leaves Whitechapel to start another fight somewhere else.
Are you talking from experience?
I've seen your type come here to get a good fuck in a cheap room or a dark alley before going back to their fancy houses in the West End.
Why this skepticism?
How can you speak about starvation if you've never been hungry? Or about poverty or anything else you have never suffered from.
Tell me about yourself.
Are you joking with me? People don't usually come to see me for conversation.
I have no interest in your work. I am, however, curious as to what led you into this career.
Short story. The war, exile, and England. This country is not especially welcoming. I've been refused many jobs because of where I am from. I had few options left.
I always thought I was the master of my own fate. But now I know we don't always have control over our lives. I don't judge you.
You know, this money is not only for me. I have good reasons to need this money quickly, but it is not your concern, Doctor.
Do you know Nurse Dorothy Crane from the Pembroke Hospital? Anything you can tell me about her would be helpful.
I don't know her, but I know her name is Dorothy Crane. She came from Romania like me and many others.
You seem to respect her.
Dorothea helps the sick people of Whitechapel. Everyone should respect that.
Goodbye, miss. Take care of yourself as best you can.
I'm cheap and I'm clean, I promise.
It's locked, all right. The content of Darius' letter to his children.
Ja patrzę oferty internetowe koło mnie, co są.
I know you understand what I'm saying. Your silence has nothing to do with you being mute, does it? You don't seem to need my medical attention for now. Camellia, I know you work for Dorothy Crane. Please tell me about her secret dispensary. A stubborn and mute comrade.
No tylko tak, mam 500 internetu, megabajtów i mini TV, czyli podstawa pewnie programu.
Very well. Goodbye.
Polsat 1, 2 i tak dalej. Za 92 zł.
By your false faith, imprisoned by your daily routine, unable to see.
A, to nie u mnie, tylko u ciebie.
Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. I would like to ask you a few questions.
Please be my guest. Although I may not be the best informant
Bitte
regarding this part
może.
of town. Richard Nethercott, at your service.
Co, przestaje streamować? Kurwa, daj na Discorda, bo
Tell
i
me,
tak
Mr. Nethercott.
The place is not beautiful.
Do you not...
On the...
What can you...
Not much.
rozłącza cię tam. Ja mam cały czas wrażenie, że mi kurwa telefon już pada. Że już limit się włączył na plusie.
Perhaps you're just afraid to...
One day, perhaps.
In what way, exactly?
The struggle by gaslight, the barren smiles and the added hunger under the rain.
If you say so.
Such vibrant antagonism and vivid paradox. The stripped humanity raged across each street.
Vivid, of course, yes. And what about the poignant distress?
Oh yes, the poignant distress. You see what I mean, don't you? That's what I want to write about, and that's what Whitechapel is made of.
Did you know the mute florist is a member of a secret society?
No, I didn't. But I thank you for this information, sir. For it only enriches the mystery surrounding the precious camellia.
Are you not curious? Is there not more you wish to know?
That girl has not an ounce of malice in her. Whatever she may be hiding, it's certain to be for the benefit of most, if not all.
I fear you are a hopeless romantic, Mr. Nethercott.
Guilty as charged, Dr. Reed.
May I ask what you're doing at this hour of night, sir? Do you live here?
Not at all. I'm just enjoying the pleasure of a quiet walk. Though night talks are always
Na razie widzę,
preferable,
jak
if you ask me.
rozmawiasz.
Especially with strangers.
But are you not afraid of the epidemic?
Oh, why should I? I see some equity in the Spanish flu. No flesh should be saved, say the scriptures. Good or evil, rich or poor, all are equal in the eyes of the flu.
If you say so. But as a physician in a time of epidemic, I must caution you to avoid unnecessary exposure, sir.
Thank you, Doctor. But we both know the seeker of truth has to go boldly where the weak dare not.
What are your thoughts on the terrible situation in this city?
Terrible, you say? No. Of course, the death of so many innocents is a tragedy. But the scourge has not been all bad for the city. Oh, no, sir.
What are you talking about?
Do you remember London before the flu? Noisy, cacophonic, quiet nowhere to be found. And now, listen to this oddly peaceful silence.
Peaceful. That's quite an unusual way to
A jeszcze
speak about the
zapytam, jaki ty masz przyłącze
and
te
very
światłowodowe?
inappropriate, I must say.
Jak kabel do tego? Od routera? Taki z zapinką taką? Inno? Tak. Ale on jest gruby?
Are you aware that your life could be in danger in this part of town?
But this is where I must be to feel the real beat of the city. I had to come, see it for myself, alone.
No.
If some misfortune came upon you, who would be here to help you?
Well, you, for a start, my dear doctor.
I understand your need for solitude, but it's not safe around here.
I don't care. I don't have many friends, Doctor, and my family despises me.
I on ma końcówkę okrągłą, nie? No, o to mi chodzi, dobra.
May I ask you a few questions about the district?
Extraordinary part of town, is it not? I'll be glad to help you, if I can.
What can you tell me about an old man called Darius?
Darius Petrescu? Yes, I know him. At first, I thought he was only a small publisher. I invited him to publish my work, but his reaction was pretty clear.
Not interested in your talent?
Darius is an old political activist who takes delight in printing tracts and lampoons. Those communist activities only require mediocre writing skills.
I'm looking for Dorothy Crane, a nurse who lives in this vicinity.
Dorothy Crane. Oh, I love the name. The Crane of Whitechapel. Sounds very mysterious. But, sorry, no, never heard of her.
Do you need medical attention, sir?
It may be wise to let you prescribe me something. I don't feel like I should.
I understand your appetite for words and macabre beauty, sir. But you should be more careful.
The nutrition of my mind is more important than my physical health. But I appreciate your concern, sir.
I'll leave you alone, sir. Darius is a bit less of a mystery now. It should not be that difficult to incite him to let me in.
Some of us come to this world already touched. By grace. Oh, Camellia, the silent flower of Whitechapel, an angel made flesh, I tell you.
No, już masz 1000 do wydania PD. Mhm.
you. For there is no protection against malevolence and trickery.
Take a look. Don't be afraid.
This district seems to get uglier every year.
Mr. Petrescu, just 1 minute, please.
You again. Go away.
Sir, wait. Stop this nonsense. I know Nurse Crane is here. Shall we speak man to man, you and I?
All right. Speak up.
Don't you see we're on the same side? We fight to help the poor, sick, and abandoned.
I'm nothing like you, Mr. Doctor.
Yes, you are. You too believe in providing medical care without charge. You know what we have to sacrifice to make the world a better place.
I have to admit your
No tylko po męsku ci zostało.
All right, I'll let you see, Dorothea. Don't make me regret this, though.
It's locked, all right.
Chyba najpierw pokój dostaniesz.
Can you hear my voice? I need help! He's going into...
What do we have here, nurse?
Patient Razvan Vasily. High fever running on 3 days. Complaints of dizziness, muscle aches, and head pain. Diagnosed with influenza.
Treatment?
Aspirin and salicin for the fever and discomfort. Liquids for dehydration, but he's having trouble keeping even water down.
Thank you, nurse. Anything else I should know?
He did lose consciousness this morning, but he's never had convulsions like these.
He's not convulsing, he's choking. He's not getting any air. Scalpel! Hand me that scalpel!
What can I do, Doctor?
I need to perform a tracheostomy. Short pipe. That rubber tube will do. We're going to cut a passage for air through the neck.
Yes, Doctor. He's breathing again, but he's coughing up blood.
Internal hemorrhaging. I need to make another incision into the chest cavity to drain the fluids from the lung. Prepare another tube.
A thoracostomy? Doctor, we've nothing to fight the infection. We need an aseptic environment.
Right then, Nurse Crane. What do you suggest we do?
I've no idea. I'm not the doctor.
Time is of the essence. We need to perform a thoracic drain.
Yes, Doctor. He's still bleeding, Doctor. I'm losing his pulse.
The drain must have punctured the intercostal artery. There's too much blood.
Are you all right, Doctor?
I can't see. I must first suture the artery. Find the wound. The source of the blood.
Needle and thread, Doctor.
The stitches are holding. How's he doing?
We're losing him. We've lost his pulse. He's dying, Doctor!
A dose of epinephrine, now.
Yes, Doctor.
Nie spoileruj. Z2.
We've lost the pulse. He's gone, Doctor.
Nurse, we did everything we could.
Truly? Everything you could. Is that how you'll report this in your log? Is this how the war went? Piling up one poor corpse beside the next?
This was not an influenza-induced seizure. I've never seen symptoms like these on the continent.
Neither have I. But the previous symptoms leading up to this attack were the same, indistinguishable from the epidemic.
No. There was something more vile in these reactions. Something primitive.
There have been numerous reports of mental breakdowns caused by the fever that accompanies the flu itself, Doctor.
Yes, but... I'd best take some samples of the blood for analysis.
I doubt you're here to test my bedside manners. I suspect it was more than intuition alone that led you to us. So, how might I be of service, Dr. Reed?
I've come to put an end to this insufferable blackmailing, Dorothy.
Doctor, you think your warnings scare me? I've stolen and plied, blackmailed and lied, but what else am I to do? I'm all these people have.
But why Lady Ashbury? Why her, of all people?
She's pristine and proper, all right. But that she-wolf in sheep's clothing murders the poor for sport. I have her where she belongs, and I'll milk her for all she's got.
Dr. Swansea is a sensible and honest man. He wouldn't have refused your friend's care at Pembroke.
It's easy for you to say, Doctor. These people cannot go to the police, nor to the hospital. They don't even speak English. They depend on me for everything.
So, the end justifies the means. Is that your defense?
I know you're kind, Doctor. Just another fine-heeled, silver-spooned gentleman who was given the world on a platter. You know nothing of poverty. Nothing of the shame, the hunger, the loneliness.
You've convinced me of the sincerity of your actions and their noble justifications. But all the same, blackmail is a crime, and it will stop, Nurse Crane.
So, are you going to turn me over to the authorities?
Listen very carefully, Dorothy. You will erase from your memory everything you pretend to know about Lady Ashbury and Pembroke Hospital.
Let that rich bitch off the hook over my dead
Nurse
body.
Crane, enough. Listen as if your life depended on every word. I know you've a generous heart who gives freely to those in need, but you shall walk away from the shadier streets of your business.
I will never abandon...
Dorothy, the discussion has come to a close. Your clandestine activities in the Resistance are over. Let it go.
I'll let it go. Yes. All gone.
Dobra, jestem.
Easy does it, boys. We can deal with this vermin.
What's happening to you?
No kupuj to ulepszenie, co ty mówiłeś tam. Zobacz, ile masz tego już. Widzę, widzę.
I'll kill you! Clever fucking beasts! Die, leech!
A no. No, okej.
Hello, Mr. Petrescu.
Hello, Dr. Reed. Come on in. If you want to talk to Dorothea, you must go across the courtyard and take the stairs.
We've not been formally introduced. May I ask your name and occupation, sir?
I am Darius Petrescu. I'm here to keep snitches and spies away from Dorothea. And I also...
So Dorothy's real name is not Crane?
Like myself and many people in this area. Dorothea is from occupied Romania. That's all you need to...
She seems important to the community.
More than you can...
Did you refuse to publish Richard Niven?
Yes. His manuscript is as pompous as his start.
You could have told him so.
As a great writer recently said...
Tell me everything.
I do not believe in the afterlife, Doctor. But I'm almost convinced Camellia is an angel.
To ciebie by było
She
słychać.
volunteered to give out our medical leaflets.
Are you not worried for her safety?
She is as brave as she is tough. And clever, too. If only I had met her when I was young.
Are you in love with Camellia, Mr. Petrescu?
Don't be stupid. If I had met her when I was younger, we could have won our revolution.
Who is she, really? Do you know where she's from?
She's not from around here, that's all we know. Camellia is not even her name. It's her favorite flower.
You say she has no close family?
Well, there's that awful poet who constantly follows her around like a lost puppy. A good man.
Tell me everything.
I do not...
Do you have any...
Who knows?
This...
No.
Don't be...
It's quite...
How did you... You mean...
Really?
I know, but remember...
Nie bądź głupi. On jej nie kocha.
Goodbye, Mr. Petrescu.
Maybe it's time to see if...
Me, I'll not die in some piss-stinking alley reeking worse than a week-old lappy.
It's locked.
Trust the leech, boy! Look at it! Gone up like kindling! Burn it, boy!
Tę amunicję możesz tworzyć? Czy musisz od nich zdobywać?
Burn it, boys! Burn! Die, burning! Burn! That's what you do with leeches.
Tam. Jakbyś dobrze uniki robił, to by nie był tak ciężkie. Mhm. Ty tam pałkę se ulepsz. No ten, co ci daje do wysysania krwi. Nie wiem, który tu używasz. To jakieś jakie oczy ma. Zrób mu jakieś ładnie oczy. Nie ratujesz go. Tego, co tam go pożarali. Mhm. Nie no, spoko, ja myślałem, że to można tak szybko coś tam, wiesz, ulepszyć. Nie sprawdzaj śmietników.
I would ask you to avert your eyes, sir. Or did you not know it was rude to stare?
I knew it.
Speak up, Dr. Reed. I like a man who speaks his mind.
What prevails in the end, I wonder? The desire for blood, or to be of service to man?
Spare me your sarcasm, Jonathan. You are but newly born in this world.
So in the end, the accusation was true, wasn't it?
The situation is somewhat awkward nonetheless. I have not been observed sustaining myself for many decades. I have to say I'm a trifle embarrassed.
Anyway, I have concluded my inquiries concerning your blackmailer.
I see. Please excuse my agitated state. Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't let anyone see me in this condition.
The case is closed, your ladyship. The person who took advantage of you has, shall we say, seen the error of her ways.
So who was it?
My lady, the blackmailer was dealt with using the utmost discretion. The culprit's identity is of no relevance.
Thank you, Jonathan. That is exactly what I needed from you. You have proven your loyalty, so, as a friend, please accept this small token of my appreciation.
Thank you, my lady.
If you have an inclination to learn more about vampires or your current situation, I will be glad to aid you in your quest for knowledge.
I've been hearing a voice talking in my head. Is this some kind of insanity? It feels like the voice of the vampire that created me.
Hush. Tell no one this. It would be unwise to talk of such things amongst British immortals. Speak no more of your maker.
How could this cause offense?
Only the powerful immortals can mentally call to their progeny. No vampire or hunter will sleep easy, knowing that an unidentified elder is stalking the streets of London.
Excuse my forwardness, but are you my maker?
Me? goodness, no. Only a foolish immortal would create a progeny without taking precaution, and I'm no fool.
A vampire? Is that what I am? What we are?
Such a crude word, defined by penny dreadfuls and drunken hacks. No. You are now an Ekon, and that you shall remain.
Are you an Ekon too?
Yes, I am. We are the closest thing to what man refers to as vampires. Forget what you think you know about us.
So we are Ekons. How can I identify us amongst other vampires?
How to put it? All Ekon are vampires. But all vampires are not
What's this Ekon?
We are but a branch of the immortal tree.
I don't understand. Why was I created and then left for dead?
That is a question only the one who made you can answer. It's not normal practice. I doubt even if you find him, he will answer you, considering how cruelly he treated you.
I'd like to avoid creating another vampire by mistake anyway. Tell me, how is it done?
The process is dangerous. It could even kill your potential progeny. If you did decide to sire an offspring, they must drink of your blood, Jonathan.
So me being a vampire could have been a mistake.
I very much doubt it, Jonathan. Contrary to the legends, it is not as simple to make another vampire by just biting someone.
Why does Dr. Swansea allow you to feed on the patients of the hospital?
Dr. Swansea is a good and compassionate man. He is trying to find a solution for our hunger. Until that happens, he is clever enough to understand that I only feed upon the dying.
What do you know about this Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole?
The Brotherhood is well known amongst London Vampire Society. As long as our kind is discreet, and as long as they do not interfere, we have come to a mutual understanding.
And no one suspected you of the murders?
As you well know, suspicion has recently fallen on me of killing for pleasure. But you have my word, Jonathan. I take no pleasure in taking a life.
I know this is beyond the pale, but may I inquire your age?
Really? And I thought you were gentlemen. If you must know, I'm 27. I've been 27 for a long time now, and 27 I shall remain.
Very well. But I believe there is more to this than you are saying.
A lady has to have some secrets.
And who bestowed upon you this eternal youth?
My maker. He left this isle a long time ago.
Why did you save me in the canning factory?
I could hardly
Z tym
stand
wiekiem, nie?
by and watch such a promising young blood as yourself be torn to shreds by some gutter scowl.
William Bishop wasn't the vampire that created me then?
No, Jonathan. Whatever their strength and demeanor, scowls are the progeny of careless vampires. It cannot be the other way round.
What type of vampire is a
Majka to jest twórca?
Not a true vampire. The deformed offspring of lesser vampires. It is a shame these creatures run wild, slaves to their baser instincts.
I've been away from London and England for 3 years. This isn't the city I remember.
Things have gone from bad to worse here, Jonathan. I've lived in this city for a long time, and I've never seen it like this.
The Spanish flu has hit London that bad.
Yes, but it's not just that. I've heard things. Things I've not heard for a very, very long time. There are whispers in the shadows. Something far worse than the Spanish flu is here in the city.
What is it you fear?
Fear has long since flown this form. But there is something malevolent circling us. I feel fear is merely waiting in the wings.
Are there many vampires here in London?
Immortals are of a rare breed, and we often tend to hide. But you may occasionally meet some of us at night.
Do you know any of them? Have you an idea of the identity of the vampire who attacked me?
You mean your maker? No, Jonathan, I have no clue. But I fear he or she is as careless as cruel. To let you discover your new condition by yourself.
What do you mean?
Every now and then, you may discover an immortal in the deep of the night. But we are a rare and reclusive breed. Our progeny is almost never accidental.
Will they all be as affable as you, my lady?
I do not see why not. But remember, even the shark smiles before he bites.
That sounds like a lesson from experience.
Vampire politics are as intricate and sometimes tedious as a game of chess in a gentleman's club. I've learned from experience.
When I awoke, changed, I was
No to jest najgorsze chyba w
attacked
tej
by
grze,
vampire
te dialogi.
hunters, prepared and well trained.
Though I can't be certain. More than likely it was the once
Żeby to jest-
glorious Guard of Priwen.
Żeby to było po polsku, nie?
Once
They have seen better days, but all fanatics are dangerous. You would be wise to
Tak,
stay clear.
w sumie to ja to nie czytam tak
They sworn
wszystkiego,
to
nie?
destroy
Tylko
our
sobie
kind.
doczytam rzeczy, które nie
you
czaję.
make them sound like some sort of cult.
More a society. And
I bid you farewell, for now, my lady. I must quickly analyze the blood I took from Nurse Crane's patient.
Simpletons, these nurses. Bred with no respect.
Good evening, Miss Howe.
I need blood, Doctor.
I have made inquiries about the men who were tracking you, Miss Howcroft.
I did not expect a mortal to have this sort of courage. Speak, Doctor. Why are they hunting me down?
It was a misunderstanding. These hunters were in fact looking for a very different creature, but they mistakenly put their sights on you.
I knew it. I have become undone. Those hunters have...
If you'll accept some advice from a petty mortal, I think you should assume a low profile and just quietly disappear into the shadows.
You are right. And you have served me well, mortal. Take this as a reward for your time. Perhaps I will allow you to drink deep of my blood. One day.
Thank you. I'll keep that proposition in mind. Tell me, Thelma, what do you really know about vampires?
I saw one and he saw me. I watched him hunt and kill. I saw his terrible wounds heal as his victim died. And then I knew I was saved.
You mean you actually saw a vampire? Here in London?
Yes, and it has been the answer to my pain. I must drink and kill to regenerate my decaying body. I am a vampire too.
No, you are deluded. You think you crave blood, but you have no physical need for it. You have no idea what that is like.
But what am I feeling? It cannot only be in my head. I know my flesh is rotting. I feel it. It disgusts me.
I'll leave you, Miss... Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
I'm quite busy, right?
Do you need my assistance?
Don't be ridiculous. I'm capable of dealing with this myself. I've just not taken the time to do so.
Then you are lucky that I...
I wish this hospital could have...
Thank you for your...
As for me, what a blunder.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Is there anything else?
Really?
Unfortunately. Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you...
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'm all right.
How is...
Do you require medical...
Do you know...
Despite...
Well, at least...
Goodbye, Mrs. Goswick.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Miss...
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances...
Good evening,
I'm willing
Mr.
to give
Goswick.
you the benefit of the
How are you? Do you need any help?
Thank you, Doctor.
I have to...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
Dobra, Matt, ja będę uciekał. No, chyba do jutra.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
Raz ze starszą zawiozę do ciotki.
Goodbye,
Kurwa,
Dr. Strickland.
marudzie, że nie ma telewizora. Nie wiem, a jak będziesz... Nie, no dzisiaj to już nie ma sensu. No i tak na telefonie jadę, nie?
How dare you steal from the
Przyjadę
dead,
gdzieś koło
Rakesh?
9.
Is that what your pawnbrokers is really about?
These people are dead, sir.
Dobra, to trzymaj się na razie.
You should show respect.
The bodies I watch over are the unwanted and undesired, sir.
Please show...
Of course.
Good evening.
Evening.
Soldier.
Not really. I don't think you...
Goodbye for now.